Okay, y'all. Next, I have Desogn Orginals, New Guide to Coloring for Crafts, Adult Coloring Book, and Other Coloristas. Listen, this is a nice book. There's tips, tricks, and techniques for all skill levels. I am just going to flip through it quickly for you, or as quickly as possible. Get down. I have a new doggy, believe it or not. There's some beautiful examples here of how to frame your coloring projects that look really cool. Bags, cards, shirts, jewelry, mugs, lots of things you can do with your colorings. Card, tags, little box there, little place mat. Here's a guide to your coloring supplies. Special thanks to Theania McCardle for her contributions to this guide. Here they go through your markers, alcohol burst water, stroke samples, what should you buy. There's tips on certain pages, little stories on pages, student quality versus artist quality, oil versus wax versus oil-based versus wax-based, excuse me, can't talk. And then other factors to consider. Talks about watercolor pencils and what should I buy. And then more tips. Here we talk about gel pens, metallic glitter, neon, pastel, black light sensitive, variable colors. Have you tried the glazed pens? Those are a lot of fun. Jelly roll. Here they have your common brands. Tips. Here they're going to talk about crayons and pens and other medias. Other tips and tools thinking outside the box, such as eyeshadow, nail polish. Here they talk about paper types. Here they get into paper weight, which you guys have often heard me refer to the pound of paper. Here they talk about sharpers, printing methods, paper recommendations, erasers, pencil extenders, scrap paper, getting comfortable, tips for athletic colorists. Little story here. Here you got a nice chart comparing different medias, and then you got wrap-up questions and facts. Now we're going to talk about organizing. Lesson 1, all about color. Here we go into the basics, the color wheel. I have a color wheel here. I'm sure you guys have seen mine over here on my table. I do refer to it fairly often. I wished I didn't feel the need to, but I'm not good at picking colors. Then it goes into primary, secondary, tertiary. And then they talk about color categories beyond the wheel. That's when you talk about alternate, tertiary, quaternary colors. It's giving you a spot to practice. Here, telling you what to do with it. Pretty good book. Lots of good examples. Giving you spots to practice. This is talking about patterning. And quite often our pages are patterned for us like this up here. But you've seen Kirby Roseanne's, some of the other artists leave spots for you to. Millie Murata has done this to make patterns of your own in. This is where you would get that information. How it talks about combining patterns, leaves you a spot to practice, filling in space, tips, patterned and colored, gives you spots to practice. Now you try. Here it talks about the micron pens that you would use to pattern. Here's more patterning tips and ideas. Here's the lessons in shading, basics and methods, shading styles, shading with lines, using multiple shades, highlighting, all kinds of good information. Extra tips in here. Blending, basic blending and mixing. They give you spots to practice as well. Dry blending tools and techniques. Here they're showing you wet blending tools and techniques. Wonder how many of you tried rubbing alcohol? I have. Here it talks about how you tip your markers together like the chameleons, nib to nib blending. Here's some examples of gorgeous well blended pieces. Here's a lesson on layering and experimentation here. Marker on pencil, gel pen on marker, pencil on marker, marker on gel pen. All kinds of good stuff to try. Making layering decisions, it talks to you about that. I think they talk about your light source. Here's a bit about paint pens. Layering tips. Start subtle. Go wild. Don't be afraid to let coloring take you into the new realms of art. You can achieve a very soft look by layering blended pastels on top of thin layers of colored pencil or using colored pencil on top of pastels. Planning your work. Placing color. This is lesson 6. Deciding where to start. With spots to practice as well. Here's a recap. And the pages in this book are perforated. Well, okay, no they're not. These ones are. Let's see what's perforated here. Okay. I don't know. They're all perforated. Okay, the pages are perforated. And here's your practice pages back here. All kinds of fun little stuff to color. There's a Zentangle page. Some tags. Paper quality isn't bad either, by the way. About a 70 pound. Some coloring pages for you to do and to practice on. Okay, you guys. So this is it for the... There's even a black background page in here. For the Desogn Originals. All the pages are perforated. There's an artist credits in the back. The ultimate guide, new guide, Desogn Originals New Guide to Coloring. For crafts, adult coloring book, and other coloristas. Very good book, all in all, I'd say. Thanks, guys.